What is normal? We've had some episodes here where we talked about what normal eating is, how it is defined. And in the last kind of short episode that we did, back episode 132, we talked about getting back to normal versus getting back on track. An interesting change in language that can be very valuable in beginning to help you adjust your thinking when it comes to health and fitness. But today, the question that I want to help you answer is, what is normal? What is the new normal for you? We all have an idea of where we want to be in terms of health and fitness, right? That's why we're here. We want to make improvements. We want to feel like we're getting healthier. But in order to do that, we have to give attention to the inputs, right? The fuel for those changes. And so I want today to just encourage you in our brief conversation here in this bonus episode is to think about what normal is for the healthy version of you, the healthier version of you. And if you're just starting out, you've got a little bit of work to do, and that's okay. But this is work that is going to serve you well. And if you're already in this process, maybe you've been listening to the podcast here for a while and you're consuming other content, you're trying to make adjustments, trying to exercise regularly, eat as healthfully as you can. Maybe you realize there's a little bit more that you can do right now from where you're at. And so I want to encourage you to think about what that change would be. But here's how I would ask it of you. Again, I want you to think about that future version of yourself, the healthier version of yourself from wherever you are at now. And you could take a deep breath and picture that individual living the life that you want to live. And then ask the question, what is a normal day of eating for that individual? We'll just focus on food today. Obviously, nutrition has a huge impact on our health. Maybe outside of our mindset, it has an impact more than anything else, is what's going into our body to fuel the results that we want. So what does normal eating look like for that future version of yourself? What are they doing? And I want to encourage you to think in terms of these questions, and you can jot these down. You can put this on pause. You can take some notes. But this is a little journaling exercise that I would encourage you to do, to just ask 4 questions to establish what normal eating is like for that future version of yourself. And of course, what we're going to do is take a look at it, compare it to what is actually happening now, and see what adjustments we can make in order to move forward. So here are the 4 questions that I'd like you to focus on, thinking about the future version of yourself, the healthier version of yourself. And I've got a healthier version of me too. We all do. What does a normal day of eating look like for them? Let's just take a look at a few things, actually 4 questions that will give us insight into a few things that will help you to keep moving in a healthier direction. First of all, let's do this. Let's talk about the when it comes to eating, when it comes to food. For that individual, when are they eating? How soon in the day is that first meal? How many times per day are they eating? So the when. Exactly the timing and how many times per day. Interesting, right? Think about it. And then if you have them, you can put this on pause, have a minute, just jot down some ideas. When are they eating? You can put the times, right? And then you know how many times per day that future healthier version of yourself is eating. And then think about what's actually happening in your life on a daily basis. How does it compare to that healthier version of yourself in terms of the timing, the when exactly on the clock, and then also how many times per day eating is happening? How does it compare? And what adjustments might you make? moving forward in order to move in a direction toward the normal eating for the person that you want to be. Now, here's the next question. What is being eaten at those times? What does it look like? What are the foods that they're actually consuming? Maybe a lot of them are similar to what you're having now, but what's different, right? Just take a moment. You can put it on pause again. Jot down the what. In each of those time slots, what is being consumed? And again, we're not trying to establish a very rigid diet. We're trying to get an insight into the types of things that they're having, right? That future, healthier version of yourself. What are they eating at each of those times? And what you're going to do is you're going to be, at least you'll have one menu, right? For the new normal, the person that you want to be, one menu, and then you could start to substitute in different foods, right, that fit into those same nutrient categories: protein, veggies, carbs, healthy fats. So give some attention to the what, and then again, look and compare it. What's actually happening in my normal day now for the person that I am? And then a last question. We know the timing, we know what the food is. Where did it come from? And that might be the most challenging one, right? For the person that we want to be, oftentimes we know the types of food they're eating, we know how often they're eating, but then the question, that's probably a good amount of food in a day, right? So where did they get it from? How did they come across it? Did they just put it out of the fridge and heat it up? Did they put it together based on ingredients they already had? Did they go out and buy it at the store and then eat it right away? Did they go to a restaurant and get it? Where did it come from? Did they prepare it ahead of time, right? So what I want you to do is start thinking in terms of answering that question. Where did it come from? And that might be the most difficult one. But think about the person that you want to be, the healthier version of yourself, and answer that question. Where did all this healthy food come from? How did they get it? From wherever it grew or was alive to their plates. How did that happen? As you answer those questions, you are going to get a glimpse into the specific areas, specific things that you can adjust, changes that you can make in order to move toward becoming the person that you want to be. This is super exciting, isn't it? And so the last thing that I would leave you with is just to develop one simple action step based on the work that you did, based on the answers that you came up with to those questions. What might be the single easiest thing that you can do moving forward in order to make the normal just a little bit healthier for you? And then you're going to have a new normal. And you can redo this exercise, or you can keep the list that you have and continue to look back at it and say, all right, what's the next thing? Once I have that down and I've made it into a habit, a ritual in my life, what's the next thing I can do to continue to move toward making this my new normal? I hope this was fun for you. If you enjoyed an exercise like this, kind of a visualization exercise, me kind of coaching you through the conversation, I'd love to hear about it. You can put it into the written review on your podcast player, or you can definitely send me a message on social media at Nate Slegger. There are resources in the show notes for you, and I'll talk with you again soon on the Begin Within Health Show.